You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hey, General Hospital fans, I've got your early edition spoilers for next week, August 4th through the 8th. We're going to talk about Michael's ice cold move and Jason stalking somebody. It's Belinda from Soap Dirt. If you are not following us, reach down, click that subscribe button. As we always do on early edition day, we're going to start with what is coming the rest of this week and then dive into next week's action. So on Wednesday, July 30th, we have got Liz opening her home to Willow for as long as she needs. We saw her bring her home already, but it looks like it's an open-ended invite at Liz's house because Willow is not going to go back to Drew's or Nina's. And Willow does tell Liz that she knows in the light of the day, after the bad day she had, that going to Carly's the night before was a huge mistake and somebody hires Rick. Now, I suspect that might be Willow. Could be Portia, but he was kind of already repping her, so I tend to think it's Willow. And Rick may see this as an opportunity to really show up and impress Liz, play hero, help Willow. Since Martin is Drew's lawyer, obviously she's not going to use him for any custody stuff. Michael makes a big decision. Of course, Willow begged to see the kids, and she did what he asked. She dumped Drew, but it looks like Michael's going to renege. He tells Jason he doesn't think that he can risk letting Willow see the kids. He thinks she's completely unhinged and is going to freak them out. Nina makes a play. She tells Rick she would make a deal with the devil if it would help her daughter. So could be Nina hiring Rick as well. Obviously, she's looking for a way to get what Willow wants, which is her kids. And I do agree that's probably the best way to get Willow to forgive her is to help get those kids back. I also think that Nina may be in for a rude awakening since Michael told Carly about the Drew and Nina fling, and Carly flipped out because she realized very quickly if Nina had come out with that weeks and weeks ago, then this Willow and Drew thing wouldn't have gotten nearly as far, and she is accurate. Carly thinks she's a selfish liar. So Trina gets an update from Curtis. I'm guessing that he's going to tell her about Willow dumping Drew at the altar and why it happened. I do wonder if Curtis is going to tell Trina that he's the one who told Willow. And I also wonder if he does, if Trina might let that slip to Kai, because that would be pretty interesting because we know he has no problem tattling to Drew if he thinks he needs that info. So Kai talks to Jocelyn and makes it clear to her that Drew did not ruin his relationship with Trina. He says he did it. However, at the same time, I know that he feels like he did the right thing because he was exposing someone planning to lie about his boss. Laura tells Lulu she thinks she's making a terrible mistake, and I think that that's Lulu trying to keep Rocco away from Liesel when he's the one who went looking for her. We also know Lulu doesn't listen, so I think Laura is wasting her breath. On Thursday, July 31st, Anna has some advice for Dante. He may be talking to her about his concerns about Rocco and Obrecht, or this may be about him wanting to confront Joss about possibly working at the WSB, which they think she is. Emma confides in Gio. This is likely about her Dalton plan. She really wants to expose this guy. Carly has some concerns and she voices them to Joss. That's a lot of topics to cover. It could be about her dating Vaughn. It could be Carly talking about the Lucas versus Sonny drama, maybe about Willow's craziness after the wedding blew up and how it's affecting Michael. Jason stops by to see Liz and asks her to help him. And I wonder if it's going to be about Britt or about Willow. Maybe Jason's going to try and get her to, get Willow to just back off and let Michael cool down, let the situation cool down, show that Willow can be chill. Or it could be Jason asking medical questions about Britt's death. or her Huntington's disease and where it might have progressed to now. Willow is on a mission. I'm sure it's to get Wiley and Amelia back. She knows she messed up going to Carly's when she was out of control, but Willow is not going to let anything stop her, and she is way darker now than she ever was thanks to all that time spent with Drew. Friday, August 1st, Jason goes to see Anna and shares some things with her, and Jason may be telling Anna that he thinks Britt is alive and that he may know where she is. And if the subject of Croatia comes up, I wonder if that will ring any bells for Anna. Alexis demands answers. Now, she has a meeting with Ava this week, so that could be it, or it could be her grilling Drew about what the heck did you subject your daughter Scout to. Dante has questions for Danny, and Dante might be asking Danny if he knew Rocco was talking to Obrecht and planning to see her. Plus, Emma works on a scheme with Gio, and again, I think this is about breaking into Dalton's lab because she stole Vaughn's keys, I'm sure, for that exact purpose. Felicia has some advice for Lucas as this week ends, and it might be about what he's going through with Carly and Sonny. The week of August 4th through the 8th, I think Marco and Sidwell are probably going to be plotting on how to deal with the Sonny problem. The Teflon Don really stirred the hornet's nest by taking Marco because Sidwell was very protective of him, but he also kept Marco out of his business, and Marco wasn't playing dirty, and now he is all in, and he's a smart guy who knows the law, and he is working in the same firm as Sonny's lawyer, so he could probably get access to some legal stuff that might really hurt Sonny. Nina leans on her aunt Liesel, who of course is going to comfort Nina, and they may plot to make sure that Drew is gone for good out of Willow's lives. I believe we can expect Rocco to rebel against his parents over this Obrecht issue. Laura advised Lulu against throwing out ultimatums and things like that. But again, Lulu never listens to anyone. I am not enjoying the rewrite of that character. I used to like Lulu a lot more than I do now. I'll just say that. You know, I don't mind the recast actress. Alexa Havens is fine. It's the character that's the issue, not the actor. Just to be clear, Drew is quite determined to get revenge on those he feels wronged him, and he is desperate for a Willow reunion, and I think it's not going to be too long before Drew finds out Curtis dropped the bomb and not Nina. And once he finds that out, it's going to be game on. Carly is going to be struggling over losing her brother, Lucas, over this Sonny kidnapping Marco deal. When Carly had gone to Sonny and asked him not to do things, and he did it, but she's an enabler and she excuses his behavior, always has. Joss may actually side with Lucas because she is back to despising Sonny again. Emma and Gio are ready to take a huge risk, and Jason considers his next steps. He may get on a plane and head over to Croatia, to that hotel that he found the name of, and we should have more of Britt in Croatia and finding out how she's keeping her Huntingtons at bay. Looks like maybe that drug she injected is doing something. And Britt seems to be herself, seems to have her memories because she mentioned the nurse's ball and she mentioned Mutter, which is what she called Liesel. That's the German word for mother.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast, because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.